Good evening. Good afternoon, YouTubers, or whatever time of day this video is going to be posted. And Dino 91 here again. And if you can see my last video, you would know that this is the top 10 primates in media. Now by that, I mean monkeys and apes. No prosimians or humans will be mentioned in this video, mostly because if I did, the list would be longer than 10 in entries. Now, for those of you out there who have no idea why I'm doing this, I don't need to explain. In the Chinese zodiac, 2016 is considered the year of the monkey. And according to Chinese folklore and cultural background, the Chinese zodiac is kind of like their version of the astrological way of the. Basically, it's like the constellations. Depending on the year where you were born, and will determine what zodiac animal best represents you. I, for one, was born in 1991, therefore the year of the sheep, or ram, or goat. But 2016, as I've mentioned before, is considered the year of the monkey. And I have comprised a list of the top 10 in monkeys and apes. That I found to be very interesting over the years and continue to still do. Without further ado, let's get on with the list at number 10, which is King Louie from the Jungle Book, that franchise. Now, in any version of the Jungle Book that we've all heard or seen or read, and King Louie is usually depicted as an ape or a monkey. But for those of us who have grown up with the Disney version, by that I mean the animated version, not the live action, then King Louie is depicted as an orangutan, which is odd seeing as Rudyard Kipling's famous novel is set in India. But I put King Louie at number 10 to start off the list, mostly because he didn't really have that much to do with the story. In fact, I think it would be considered Disney's first big lip alligator moment, if I can call it that. But Louis, his whole philosophy, once he gets Mowgli in his hands or feet, as it were, is he promises to keep the man cub or boy in the jungle forever if Mowgli can teach him how to make fire, or as he calls it, the red flower. Now, if memory suits me right, there are several things wrong with that little deal. One, Mowgli doesn't know how to make fire, as he explained in the song "Wanna Be Like You." Two, if King Louie actually manages to create fire, chances are he's going to end up burning the jungle to the ground. And third reason, how is that he's going to keep Mowgli in the jungle for the rest of his life? Isn't the whole purpose of him leaving the jungle, making sure he's safe from Shere Khan? I don't know. Also, I'd like to mention that Louie's also been featured in the Jungle Cubs, which is like the Rugrats version of the Jungle Book, as well as a spin-off series called Tailspin, where, along with Baloo and Shere Khan, being the main character cast. I haven't seen Tailspin in a decade, so I'm not quite as familiar on the series. Anyway, on to number 9, which is Master Monkey from the Kung Fu Panda franchise. Going from Disney to DreamWorks, Master Monkey is not only one of the members of the Series 5, but is all around one of my favorite characters. Mostly because, as well, his style of Kung Fu is based off of, well, monkey style. And in The Secrets of the Furious 5 in spin-off short, that explains the origin of the Furious 5 members and how they came to be known as the Furious 5. Monkey, beforehand, used to be a little bit of a prankster, or until Master Shifu kind of straightened him out. Although in Kung Fu Panda and Movies of Awesomeness, which is the TV series, there's likes to play pranks with Poe every now and then. He does have somewhat of a serious tone to himself. As well as having a brother, I think it was a twin brother or an older brother, which shares the name of one other monkey in Chinese folklore. But that will come soon. Number 8, Captain Gut from Ice Age Continental Drift. Now I think I'm pretty sure I covered Captain Gut in another anime villains list. But to recap, Captain Gut in the movies sort of like Blackbeard in a way. I mean, down to the point where his hairstyle looks like a pirate's hat. He has a long beard, and he even has a crew of other animals, which include uh, some sort of marine bird, a badger, rabbit, kangaroo, elephant seal, and even his own saber-toothed tiger. Now, if you haven't seen the movie and wonder why he's called Captain Gut, not to many say spoilers, but it has something to do with his long fingernails. Also, I like the idea and how the creators of Ice Age came up with this character and what animal to say to base him on. Now, to the untrained eye, he would seem to be an ordinary monkey or ape. But since I happen to know a little bit about prehistoric animals, as you've seen before in one of my other videos, Captain Gut is a Gigantopithecus. In other words, the closest thing to Bigfoot at where we're going to see on a paleontological scale. Sorry about that, no there. Now, before I move on to number 7, I have to mention I like Captain Gut's ship, shall I say. Even though they're mostly comprised of icebergs or ice floes, if you want to call them that, they do look like pirate ships in a way, especially after you see how he makes one by merely getting between in space about that far apart and using his strength to push one side of an ice floe off the other. Not to mention, the way that their ships are moved is by the aid of narwhals. Something I thought I'd see in an Ice Age movie. That and those weird birds reptilian sirens. I don't know what they are, but they look like the missing link from Monsters vs. Aliens. Now on to number 7, which is Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls franchise. Yes, if you're a 90s kid like me, you would know about the Powerpuff Girls series and their backstory. How their creator/father, Professor Utonium, created them by combining sugar, spice, everything nice, only to accidentally smash into a vial of chemical X, which resulted in the girls becoming super powerful. On the other hand, and in one episode, when it was revealed that Mojo Jojo was responsible for their creation. Now, I forget the name of the voice actor, but I'm pretty sure Amy Toon more, and Jaime Toon have covered him. No, wait, Mr. Code. Oh, and Jaime Toon. Sorry. Covered who voices Mojo. Oh, I mean, he is an evil genius in a way because, well, of all the inventions he's made, such as death rays, killer robots, as a way to extract chemical X and neutralize it. And, but on the other hand, if he's so smart, how come he gets beaten up constantly by 3 preschool girls? I don't know. And if they ever do who want to reboot the series, they, I think they should give Mojo a little bit more her to work with because, well, if I remember correctly from watching the movie in that one episode, Mojo is supposed to be a chimpanzee that got mutated by chemical X. But however, in the movie, he does the same thing with other primates, such as gorillas, baboons, orangutans, gibbons, tamarin, and basically every known species of monkey and ape is imaginable that Mojo treatment in the movie, up until Mojo Jojo turns into King Kong at one point. Now for number 6, which is, pardon me if I can't remember how to pronounce this guy's name, it's been a while. Etemon from, well, Digimon. Now, I don't really know that much about this one character, because once again, I haven't seen the series in a very long time, and I've always been more about Pokemon and fanboy rather than Digimon. But from what I can gather, Etemon is a monkey in like Digimon that has some sort of an Elvis Presley complex to him. And to the point where he even carries a I think that's what it's called, like microphone device. Basically, from what I can remember, or he traps other Digimon and our main cast is and keeps him hostage while he performs. Yeah, once again, I have no idea why I put him higher than King Louie in now, but when I don't even know this much about him. But for number 4, I know him quite. Oh, wait. Ooh, I really messed up. But, never mind. Number 5, which is, well, Monkey from Dexter's Laboratory. More importantly, the Dial M for Monkey, a short verse from the series. Now, once again, if you're a 1990s kid like I was, you probably have seen Dexter's Laboratory and know about the little shorts that appear every now and then, such as the Justice Friends which I know I'm gonna get a lot of criticism for this. Must be like the Cartoon Network version of the Avengers in a way. I think that's where Stanley got the idea from. Because I can make some good references right now. Major Glory is Captain America, obvious. The Incredible Kronk is, well, the Incredible Hulk. As for Valhalla, I'm gonna have to say Thor. Or why not? But there's also Dial M for Monkey. Now, in the beginning, each short, it shows Dexter frustratingly trying to get his little lab monkey and to show some sort of mutation. But as it would go, well, it seemed no physical mutation, no enhanced instability, nothing. That is until a monkey gets the telepathic message from one of the government agents. I don't know who. Well, I know the character's name and from the series. I just don't know the organization. And Monkey becomes the superhero of Monkey. And I definitely know quite a lot about this one because I've seen most of the shorts, including the quote unquote banned episode Barb what was it called? Barbecue or something like that. I don't know. The one they have is that effeminate version of the Silver Surfer and Galactus. Yes, I remember that one. There was one that's kind of like Planet of the Apes with this character Simeon, voiced by a Maurice LaMarche. There's one where it's like the deadliest cat, like the deadliest game. And where a monkey is being hunted by this lion like an alien hunter. And not to mention there's an episode where he faces off against an intergalactic wrestler slash planet destroyer called Rasslor. Was none other than by Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't know why. I don't know how it got started. But ever since I first heard Randy Savage's voice in the character, I cannot stop myself in my head. And all I can hear is, oh yeah! I love it when Cena or his friend do that in hide and seek. I don't know why, but I just do. Anyway, let's move on before I lose track. Number 4. I'm gonna have to say for number 4, any of the monkey like Pokemon. But I mean, Mankey and Primate, the elemental monkeys for one. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and the Chimchar line. Like I said, monkeys Pokemon don't really like no. I've always been more of a Pokemon fan than a Digimon fan. Even though some of Nintendo's choices for Pokemon designs and names are a little questionable. But I do like the monkey Pokemon. And oh yeah, and I almost forgot Apom and Bipom. If only they could make a gorilla Pokemon, it would be a lot better. Or something along the line of a Yeti. And I'm not counting Obama Snow as one. But I do remember one little thing. Like in the episode Primates Goes Bananas, I think that's what it's called. When Ash, Misty, and Brock are traveling through this mountain valley, where they come across a man cave that just likes to play and little jokes and pranks on them. Up until Ash kind of annoys it to the point where it evolves into a primate and goes, pardon the expression, ape. Ape on them. Hmm. Now, they can only make a mega evolution for primates. If I would greatly appreciate it. Number 3, King Kong. Yeah, you all knew this was going to end up making the list. Why not? One of the most famous of the giant monsters, King Kong is the eighth wonder of the world, old in a way. In fact, if it wasn't for King Kong, we probably wouldn't have had Godzilla as well. Because, to the best of my knowledge, King Kong was like one of our first giant monsters. And it's become as popular as it did. With multiple remakes, including the Peter Jackson version, one crossover with Godzilla, uh, a TV series, which I haven't seen yet, as well as a crappy animated remake. And I have seen two more review of it. Now, if you've never heard of King Kong, I suggest you see the movie. He's he's a 50-foot tall gorilla that's worshipped and feared as a god in his own homeland, Skull Island. And but you bring him here or away from his home, you can probably guess what happens. Not to mention, there's been plenty of parodies of King Kong over the years, including one that surprisingly will make the list, just in one way or another. Now on to number 2, which is Sun Wukong, or Sun Goku, of Chinese mythology and folklore. For those of you who have no idea who this character is, allow me to call him by his alias, the Monkey King. Now, if you're familiar with Chinese folklore, or kind of like what I am, I'm starting to be now, Wukong definitely would be a prankster or trickster. As according to mythology, he crashes a party held by the Dragon King, and because of this, he is not granted the ability to be a god. However, he's absolutely immortal, meaning he can't be killed, can't be destroyed. In fact, he can't even be hurt in a way. And he can change in size from being as small as a grain of rice to the size of a mountain. And he can create clones just by using his own hair, as well as carrying a staff that's able to extend and retract. Just saying that just baited a lot of people in the posting some weird or innuendo in the comments. All valid. I set it up. However, there is one small problem. Um, like with Loki in Norse mythology, he doesn't quite know when to stop being a prankster. That is until one of the gods confronts Wukong and basically imprisons him under a giant rock, like that he cannot lift up. And that's all I know about this particular character. Anyway, as I said at number 9, there's one character that's here. There's the name of Master Monkey's brother. That would be Wukong. I love the design of this mythological character. Or, yes, he's supposed to be a monkey. He with more human-like features. There's, but in a way, there's so much reference to him and in other forms of media. Like with Pokemon, we have Infernape. It, whose head almost looks like a crown of fire on it is on it. And not to mention, and I know a lot of otakus are gonna get mad at me about this one. Dragon Ball and the rest of the Dragon Ball Z franchise. Even the name Son Goku is a reference, and even the whole Dragon Ball series in the beginning is a reference to Journey to the West, which is actually a pretty good story. Right now, I think about it. Anyway, before we go on to number 1, I want to make one honorable mention. That one being the Hindu god Hanuman, which of course is a monkey. He, he's like an entity who was basically a major player in the uh, Mahabharata, like Ramayana. Uh-oh. Excuse me a minute while I drastically look for or what that was. You cannot believe I actually forgot what it was. Oh wait, yeah, I was right. I went to Ramayana. Uh, Basically, Hanuman and helped Rama during the war, and was able to take like 3 steps from India to Sri Lanka, where the demon Ravana had abducted Rama's wife Sita. Uh, and according to the story, if I can remember this correctly, his tail was also set on fire there by the demon when he found out what was going on. Again, I wish I would remember these mythologies beforehand. Now on to number 1. One of the most famous primates of all time, and he actually started out as a villain, and one is known as Mario, as the Super Mario Brothers. Yep, and number 1 is Donkey Kong, making his debut in one of the first incarnations of the Super Mario franchise. Is Donkey Kong actually used to be a villain. That is until Nintendo decided and to give BK his own game franchise, which would later turn into a TV series. But, oh well, oh, and I have to say this, there are a lot of different references to Donkey Kong, including Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. How on earth does Donkey Kong and Wreck-It Ralph have anything to do with each other? Oh, let's see here. A plumber or like character her climbing scaffolding in of a building, and where at the top is a large muscular being or creature throwing stuff at this one at the hero. So and is defeated by being pushed or thrown off its ledge. Yeah, let's face it, Wreck-It Ralph is a reference to Donkey Kong. Now, there's one other thing I gotta mention here, and I'm not mentioning Pixels. Most the good of the movie that was. And Donkey Kong has actually been featured in Screw Attack's Death Battle. It was mostly in the Knuckles the Echidna versus Donkey Kong's Death Battle. Now, even though I would have to say, and there was no surprise Donkey Kong was won, the fight could have been a little bit more or epic. I mean, come on with that. And characters fight to the point where one of them lost most of their limbs. And the one that's still going on. Oh well. But all in all, Donkey Kong tops the list of the top 10 primates in media. This is Note 91 saying, I hope you all like this list. And tune in next time. And as I go over for something I had never intended on doing before, but would actually like to do sometime in the future. Till then,